Hi, I'm Rosalind Bell, and today I'd like to do a short tutorial on an easier version of Für Elise. I put up a version of Für Elise about a month ago, put the link up here somewhere, I'm not sure which side. And although it's a nice arrangement, I think, it works well, it's pretty difficult to play, especially a few parts of it are difficult, so I thought that it might be nice to make an easier version that more of you could enjoy. Especially because right now with world events and the coronavirus, a lot of us are stuck at home, so it's a good time to be practicing pulling an old guitar out of the closet or from under the bed or whatever. And, music is one of the only things I find that is keeping me sane right now and relieving anxiety, so I hope that this can help you and be enjoyable to you. Okay, so I'm going to play today the first part of the Für Elise, the simpler version that I've made. I'll first play that for you and give you a few tips on different parts of it. And then, you can let me know if you liked this, if you think it would be helpful that I also give some tips on the B part and on the C part of the Für Elise. And just let me know in the comments if you have further questions or what might help you. So the first part that I'd like to talk about is the slurs. I put a lot of slurs in this. Every time that you have that figure, just from dee-doo-dee-doo-dee, this part, I put slurs in. I like the sound of that, but they're definitely optional. And if you find that it's quite difficult to do with the slur, you can go ahead and leave it out. You could just play like this. Now, you might be tempted to play the E open, and then D sharp just with your pinky here on the second string. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't like the sound of those two notes through each other because it's very dissonant. You hear this interval, okay, a minor second, and it's just a very dissonant sound to be having. And yes, Beethoven did write that interval in, but he wrote it in a way that is meant to be melodic, in the sense that you hear the first note, and then the second one, then the first one again, and the second one again. You don't actually hear them at the same time. Whereas if you do this on guitar, you are hearing them at the same time, and it just gives it this level of dissonance that I don't think that it's meant to have. So I would say that it's preferable to do it like this. It's much more consonant when you hear that melodic interval. Okay, so that's how it would sound if you just left the slur out. If you'd like to do the slur, I'll give you a couple tips on it here. So I do it with these two fingers, third finger and fourth finger, because that leaves the rest of my hand free for what's coming afterwards. These fingers are a little difficult to slur with, so you might need to practice that a lot. What you need to do then is start with both of them on the string. Okay, so when you play your first E, you're holding the D sharp already. You're holding the E, of course, with your pinky. Then you play it. Then you pull with your pinky perpendicular to the string, so like this direction. Okay? So you pull your pinky in this direction. At the same time, you provide a little bit of counter pressure with your ring finger in this direction. And that will just prevent you from bending the string. If you don't provide that counter pressure, you might end up with something like this, where you bend the note a little bit before doing the pull off. And that's not what we want to do. So push up a little bit with this one, pull down perpendicular to the string with this one. If you find yourself pulling away like this, pulling like out, you're not even really pulling in that case, you're just kind of lifting your pinky off. You hear that you can actually get a little bit of sound that way, but it's just not nearly as clear and sharp as when you pull perpendicular to the string down, basically, like a pull down. You want to pull off, pull down. Okay, so that's the way you should be doing those pull-offs. You could also use different fingers to do the pull-offs if you wanted to. I prefer to use 3 and 4 because that keeps me closer to the first position, and it's just less of a shift. But if you wanted, you could do it with, for example, these 2 fingers. It's a little easier to do. And then after that figure, you have an open B, which gives you the chance to move into first position. So it does work. Yeah. Like that. Works fine. Now, here you're going to have a bit of an issue because you need to do... And if you play the E like this, then you have to jump. That's not so nice, but to solve that problem, you could play your E here. And then that way you can continue doing the figure with these 2 fingers. I'll just show you what that would be. I'll do it one more time. Okay, so that's just a bit of help with those slurs, and every time they come back, they're the same. Okay, so either you would do it with your 3rd and 4th finger every time, with your 2nd and 1st finger every time. By the way, all the stuff that I had mentioned about, pushing up on the string with the 3rd finger, you would also do that if you were playing with fingers 1 and 2. You pull perpendicular with 2nd finger, while you're pushing the string slightly this direction, the 1st finger, really holding it firmly in place. So all the same stuff applies in order to make a really clear sound. Okay? So here's the slur. So I'm pulling down perpendicular to the string, so in this direction with my pinky, while I'm pushing slightly in this direction with my ring finger. Okay? You can see that if I don't push with the ring finger, okay, then the force of pulling with my pinky is going to pull the string out of tune, and like in effect doing a small bend. See, like then we pull the string out of tune. It's not. It just makes it sound sloppy. Well, that's not the sound we're going for. What we want to do is hold the string really firmly with the 3rd finger, even like I said, even pushing up slightly. Okay, and that gives a much better result. Or if you do it with another finger combination, okay, like let's say 2nd and 1st finger, the exact same rules apply. So you pull perpendicular to the string with your middle finger while you're pushing this direction perpendicular in the other direction with your index finger. Okay? The next thing I wanted to talk about were the repeated E's in measure 13. Okay, so that's this part. Okay, repeated E's is this. that's a really guitaristic way to do something. It's, I think, a neat guitar technique that you would have an E here and an E here. They're the same note, but they have a different timbre because, yeah, one is on this string, one's on the 5th string, one's on the 4th string. So the one on the 4th string ends up sounding kind of like a little thinner of a tone, and the one on the 5th string is a bit of a richer tone, and then you're alternating between them. Now, I think that's a neat technique, and I like the sound that it gives to this passage, but I could see why either it's possibly you wouldn't like the sound of it, or maybe it's just a big stretch and not comfortable or makes it too difficult. Okay, so if you don't like that, you're definitely free to just play it either here or here. Okay, so that's your prerogative, obviously. I do find that this gives it a more of an insistent sound that I don't like as much. I'll play it in context. But if you like that better, feel free. You know? You could also do it here. Okay, so that works fine too. If you want to do that stretch, what really helps is to bring your hand a little forward. Okay, so like a normal playing position would be this. Getting that stretch from this position is a little, it's harder. I won't say it's impossible, but it definitely especially makes it hard to clear the fourth string. So you're holding here an E with your pinky on the 5th string, and you see I'm touching the 4th string. It's because my hand is too far back. So I need to bring it a little bit forward like this. So when I bring my wrist forward like that, I'm able to clear the string here. What also helps is to put your thumb right in between where your 2 fingers are. So index finger's here on the 2nd fret, pinky's on the 7th fret. Okay, my thumb is right here on like the 4th, 5th fret area, and that really helps. If you have your thumb like here, which might be a normal, comfortable position, so more or less, yeah, between the index and the thumb, then you just can't make that stretch. If I really try to keep my thumb there, there's just no way I would get it. So just open up your hand like this, index finger straight, pinky straight-ish. Okay, you do have to bend a little, otherwise you won't clear the string. And thumb in the middle, and wrist forward. And like that, you can get that stretch. Okay, and then you have that nice guitaristic sound. Anyway, it's up to you. You can also play all the E's there or all the E's there. No problem. It also helps to straighten out your finger, this joint here. Okay, whereas often you'd be bent up here while you were playing. But if you keep that bend and you keep this bend, then your reach is much reduced. Okay, so we straighten here, come forward, put the thumb in the middle. So let your thumb come into the middle of your hand. Don't try to hold it here with your index finger. There you go. With those 3 tips, you should be able to get a good sound. Now it is a pretty big stretch, so if you have small hands, all these tips might not be enough. But with these tips I can stretch an extra fret, but it's not very comfortable. Actually going this far really doesn't feel too good. You may have seen in my other video that I sometimes, with a really big stretch, might use my thumb. Okay, but that's helpful, but you have to, it doesn't work in all the pieces that you might play because you have to have a nice way to get in and out of it. So anyway. So the last thing I wanted to tell you about was the harmonic. So there's this harmonic on the E string. Okay, at the end of all the passages of all the E's, so that part. Okay, you may have not played a harmonic before, so I'm just going to describe how to do it. What you want to do is just touch the string right above the fret. Okay, so like for a normal note, you push next to the fret, and you're holding the string against the fret firmly. But for a harmonic, you want to touch the string, don't push it at all. You just barely touch it, right above the fret and not next to it. Okay, so I'm holding my finger on it here, just barely touching it. And then I'm going to play the string quite hard. And right after I play it, you may have just seen, I let go. Like that. If I don't let go afterwards, I effectively will dampen the note, so you can still kind of hear it, but it's dampened. So you want to play and then let go immediately after. Like that. Okay? You could do it with any finger, it doesn't matter. Although, well, in this particular context, you're going to be playing this E here, so it's handiest to do with pinky. Okay. It can be helpful to play the string very loud for our harmonic, like a lot louder than you would expect. Given the volume that you're hearing here of the harmonic, you might think that I'm striking it at kind of like a mezzo piano, mezzo forte type of level, but I'm actually playing this hard. I'm playing very, very hard because the harmonic they're not very loud, so you have to really put a lot more power in. Now harmonics work on all the strings, so I can do it on any of the strings. You see, it also works on the 7th fret and on the 5th, and to like a limited extent on the 4th. And might be a few others that like kind of work. You can get one just to the right of the 3rd fret. But anyway, the main ones that really come up the most in music that you'll see are the 12th fret, the 7th fret, and the 5th fret. Okay? So that's a little bit about the harmonics. Oh, one other problem that you might find that you have with the letting go thing, you might find that you accidentally let go of the string before you play it. Because it's a little hard to get that coordination right in the beginning. So you might find yourself going like... so if that's what's happening, just hold your finger just a wee bit longer and then let go. And in time, you'll be able to coordinate those well. So that was what I wanted to tell you today about the Für Elise version that I arranged, the simpler Für Elise. Please let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. If you would like to hear a similar tutorial about the B part of this piece and the C part, because now I've only covered the A part. I didn't want to make the video like 40 minutes long. Yeah, just let me know what would be helpful to you, because I'm happy to make more of this tutorial type of video if it's useful. Okay, and you can buy the score of Für Elise on our website. That's www.bellandfinch.com, B-E-A-L-L and finch.com. The score of the harder version is available, but there's also now an easier version that will be online. Okay? Also, if you have like a quick question or you'd like to have a little more help than I can provide to you in just like a short YouTube comment, please hop on over to Wisio. Okay, I'll put that link in the description. www.wisio.com/bellandfinch. And there are some options to like ask us a question and we can give you a video response. So that's like a neat new thing that we're doing. Or you could also take Skype guitar lessons with us. There's more information about that on our website. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.